Alright, we're going to do another installment of the East Palestine Crap Show, but this ain't about East Palestine this time. We're going to focus on New Waterford because I think this needs to get out there. This should have got out here a long time ago, actually, I think. But I said I would put this out, and I'm going to put this out in a separate video so you don't have to watch a long video to, know what this is about. So, New Waterford's still waiting that payment for an ambulance lost during Norfolk Southern train derailment. So, Norfolk Southern was quick to give East Palestine their $3 million. Let's see here. They committed $7.5 million for Pennsylvania to cover the costs incurred by state agencies and local fire departments that responded to the derailment. And then there's another $1 million for a community relief fund established for businesses and residents. That was Pennsylvania Communities by East Palestine. So $7.5 million they sent to. Well, I don't know if they actually sent it. I don't know. I need to start talking to fire departments in Pennsylvania that responded to this to see if they got their stuff replaced. So they committed $7.5. I can't say they gave $7.5, but he said he committed that. So there'll be a follow-up video of this because I will get with Darlington and stuff like that. Some of the PA ones, I know there was a lot of them. They came from forever, but I'll hit some of the close ones that responded to this and see if they've got reimbursed. But we'll do a follow-up video on that just to see how Norfolk Southern's doing on their, making it right. But they were just throwing money around. All right, on February 3rd, New Waterford Fire Department was dispatched to derailment. They were the second fire truck on scene. I hope you didn't beat East Palestine. If you beat East Palestine, that's sad. You were the second one there. Anyways, there were 70 other departments that showed up. Let's see here. All our vehicles responded to the event. One of our ambulances was manned at the derailment site, while the other was out helping with evacuations. Two of our providers assisting in dispatch. Let's see here. After the initial call was made to send everyone home, that would be about 3 o'clock in the morning, that I have where all the fire trucks are packing up and leaving, and the damn shit's crap. I tried to keep this clean. Damn crap's still burning. So they were towed back out, and they were supposed to report to the Palestine's Clark Street station to await further orders. Again, without hesitation, we responded. Let's see here. On Saturday, they were asked to have a 4-man fire crew staff the Clark Street station. I always want to say Clark Creek. For 12 hours overnight into Sunday. Again, without hesitation, they provided the crew. It was decided by officers of New Waterford that we needed to ensure that the other areas were still protected. So we put on another fire crew that was manned at the New Waterford Fire Department, and the EMS crew too that was manned there. So if there was any other any other calls, emergency calls, fire calls, so they had somebody to respond. Let's see here. Sunday, we were contacted by East Palestine Command that the hazmat team. Okay, this is Sunday. So you Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon. So not even 3 days. Okay. We were contacted by East Palestine Command that the hazmat team had deemed all of the gear that was on scene as unreliable. We were instructed to immediately bag up our gear and stop use. We contacted Fire Force and other area departments to borrow gear until new could be ordered. I was wondering what, because I've been told so many times that you can decontaminate fire gear. It's decontaminated all the time. Well, it's supposed to be. I don't know if it is, but there is stuff, and you can decontaminate fire gear, basically. I guess they have this stuff called D7. I don't know. It's a foam spray that could be sprayed to neutralize the harmful chemicals. Man, it's getting late. Present on turn-on gear and equipment. Unlike spraying water or scrubbing, the clean foam works without mechanical action and doesn't cause damage to the materials or shorten their lifespan. This foam can also be used to clean the storage areas of vehicles and storage areas of the station and vehicles, vehicle cabs, So this stuff can be used. Let's see here. Very little D7 is needed to remove or inactivate heavy metals, solid, semi-volatile organic compounds, and microorganisms. So the cost of the washout for a set of turn-on gear is only 42 cents. So you could have decontaminated fire gear for 42 cents. Now it makes me think, what? Let me pull this picture up real quick. What was on this train that burned? As I put my train video together where I label all the cars, and I come across more stuff, I don't believe they're manifest. Anyways, I want to remind you, this is the way they responded to the train derailment. Full hazmat suits. Okay, this was taken up by the school. So this is the way they responded. So, what was on that train that you can't decontaminate against? I'm still, maybe I'll get a firefighter to actually explain it to me, because we don't get crap from the one in town. I'll tell you that. Let's see here. Sunday evening, we were notified of the situation about the train car. There was risk of failure. So here they towed the members back to the station, had a briefing of the situation. It was decided by the mayor and officers that we needed to man the station to the fullest to ensure the safety of areas. East Palestine Command had been in touch with both the fire chief and myself regarding what was needed. I advised them that New Waterford would be handling all EMS calls in East Palestine, until further notice. And fire would be needed if that matter became worse. It was then we needed additional help to ensure our village and surrounding areas have manpower. So they had Wellsville and Glenmore came up. They sent a crew and trucks up, and let's see here, New Springfield let them, bury cots. They slept in the fire station. Okay? Oops. It disappeared. Okay. Lost my place. During this time, we had over 20 of our volunteers calling off work and spending the next 24 hours at the station. Other calls for assistance were made by us. We contacted Youngstown Auction to bring us as many bottles as they could so they wouldn't run out of oxygen during the events. They contacted Fort Cherry in Washington, PA to send a manned crew to help with EMS calls. Medic Rescue in Bridgewater to send a transport van to help with evacuations. They had a secondary treatment center ready to go, staffed with paramedic and nurse at Abundant Life if things shifted due to the detonation. During this time, we were in constant contact with East Palestine to advise them the resources we had to continue to support them. They continued to call on us, and we continued to be there to help in every way. After the detonation happened, well, at least they didn't call it a controlled release, at least they called it what it was. As a smart person here. We were contacted by the East Palestine Command. They wanted 2 of their ambulance for 24/7 through Wednesday. Again, we did as we were asked and supplied this to them. Over the course of 6 days, Friday to Wednesday, we answered over 50 calls in East Palestine. We ran out of oxygen. We ran oxygen to the high school as residents ran out. We refilled East Palestine's oxygen tanks. We did everything we could do to help our neighboring department in their time of need. Even we even assisted with standby units for Trump. He could have just stayed away. You kept your Trump water and not brought politics into this. But anyways, as the dust started to settle, we became concerned about some of our EMS equipment. Noticed corrosion on new equipment and odd smells from sealed boxes. They spoke to East Palestine Fire Department. They said they reported similar concerns. Let's see here. John Hoyt started to contact all of our suppliers and asked their recommendations for decon. They answered with discontinue use immediately. So kind of, what was on that train. Including the ambulance. All the manufacturers sent letters to back up those claims. We had to make a decision we weren't comfortable with making. Do we stop a 911 response or do we continue to run with risks? We decided to decommission the ambulance that sat at the derailment site first. We were able to find a used ambulance that had more miles and was older than that ambulance it was replacing. We chose to buy it at least to ensure the safety of the crews and the patients. We stripped all the contaminated gear from both squads. They were able to get loader monitors and parts from Medic Rescue and Negley. The rest of the equipment was removed and has yet to be replaced. The monitors we had go back to is at their end of their life. Okay, the monitors they had to go back to. The monitors that we had were deemed contaminated and were only 2 years old. We currently have a waiting time of 6 months to even get a new monitors. Let's see. During this time, wages from 6 days of coverage, the cost for a new fire gear over $90,000 in our EMS equipment situation. So I'm guessing the $90,000 doesn't include the EMS equipment, because it seems like kind of a low figure to me. So I'm guessing maybe that's not included in that. Let's see here. Literally drained all of our accounts for the fire departments. Since 2018, they had daylight staffing for EMS. They had to stop that because they no longer had funds to pay wages or replace equipment. The mayor repeatedly spoke to Norfolk about the situation. As we were waiting, Norfolk was advising how much they were doing for East Palestine. I agree, New Waterford, to get them back up and running. I finally responded they would send people down to our station to evaluate our situation. They were there for a total of 20 minutes. So, they took swabs. They swabbed the inside of the hoods of our ambulances and then left. So I'm taking it, maybe it wasn't Norfolk, maybe it was one of their paid-off companies that they, it's like CETH or CTEH or whatever it is. That, does water. No, they do the air quality testing. Let's see here. I don't need to read that. Now, this is what disheartens me the most over all of this is how we did everything that we were asked of us to assist, and we are being made to look like we are asking for handouts. We can prove the amount for the calls that were on during the same time East Palestine was being exposed. It's all over the recorded. It's all recorded in the CAD system. That's their system they use to track. We can prove all of our claims. That's even worse. As a few members of East Palestine. Oh, I didn't hear this. Wow, East Palestine Fire Department, you're making yourself look even more of a disgrace now. What made it even worse that a few members of the East Palestine Fire Department have been slandering New Waterford to the public and making claims that we are just wanting something for nothing. The most recent time was during a fundraiser for another department that was this past Saturday, and the slandering was coming from one of their officers that requested all of our EMS services. Let's see here. Then they go into since 2018 we started staffing. They go through the calls. see here. While we may have staffing, we are still a volunteer fire department, meaning that everyone's full-time job is elsewhere. We put part-time staffing on help to help coverage and compensate the providers for their time. As other departments are starting to do the same thing with mass EMS shortages nationwide. By no means do I intend this to be a slam between departments. Well, okay, I'm not with any department. East Palestine, one of your officers is saying New Waterford wants something for nothing. I probably have a good guess who the officer is, but we won't put it out there because I can't prove it. So, we just want our own equipment replaced so we can start our own rebuild. People will continue to make comments. That's fine. We just know there's always two sides of the story. Well, you know what, New Waterford? I back you 100%. Just like this dinner they had just for East Palestine, every first responder that responded to help with this situation should have been invited to this. This should not have been just East Palestine. And then as for, you being slandered by people of East Palestine Fire Department, that's sick. And Chief, are you letting this happen? Which is even more disgusting. I think for all what you requested of them, for all the backing up that they did for you, and they went above and beyond their, what you requested. They made sure you had everything that you requested. The 2 ambulances, everything manned, overnight and everything. You should be out there opening your mouth and saying, "Hey, Mr. Shaw, where's New Waterford's equipment replaced?" They were here. They responded to your crap show. Why aren't their equipment replaced? No. They don't care. They got the $3.3 million for their equipment. We got a brand new fire truck, a brand new, ambulance and new fire gear and everything. This probably isn't the only place this is happening. Just nobody wants to speak out about it. Because, I do get it. It's like you don't want it to be a fire department squabble, but this is ridiculous. This is sickening. And honestly, the more and more I read about this, and especially, Chief, if you did not address this whole, your officer and members of your department saying basically that New Waterford wanted something for nothing, you're just freaking more disgusting than I thought. I know you're going to love me, but hey, I don't care. This is sick. I didn't read that part before I started. Now I'm just pissed off. So get this out here. Please share this out. This is what Norfolk Southern's doing to, a community and probably many other fire departments. Like I said, this goes far and wide. I'm gonna start contacting PA and see if they ever got their, reimbursed for their stuff, because he committed $7.5 million. So that really makes me think. If you did not, address this whole situation with, basically, if a person of your fire department basically saying you sound like, you know what exactly what it sounds like? That sounds like so many citizens in the town. You know how many times citizens in the towns are like, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with you guys. You guys just want free stuff. You just want free stuff." I know a business that right after this explosion happened, they exploded this thing. I know a business that was like, "Well, you guys just want free stuff." And then all of a sudden this business is getting, a lot of business by, said rail company and, everybody else. So I won't put it out there because, but think you know who you are. You know exactly who you are. So if you did not, I sure hope you addressed this, but I don't think you did. Just like I think more went on than, what they said went on. And you know it. I'll play it in a different video. A hazmat fire chief, okay? Now, you have to be trained in some kind of hazmat, okay? I mean, you may not be a hazmat expert, but if you're fire chief, you're, trained in some kind of hazmat because, hazmat happens at, house fires. You got PVC pipes that are burning and, who knows what else is in there burning. So you have to know a little bit of something about hazmat. And if a hazmat official, basically says, they basically, I've never known them to burn, chemicals like that. And, they just burn them chemicals just to open the railroad faster. Chief, answer this question. Who put the request in to pull the unmanned streams from the tankers that was keeping them coal? Who pulled them? Whose request was that? Because you take water off them, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to get hot. Gross. All right, guys. Get this out here. Let's get some New Waterford some support or something. This is sickening. And no, New Waterford didn't put me up to this or nothing. This is on my own free will because this is freaking disgusting. All these first responders should be included in everything to thank them, not just East Palestine. But you only do East Palestine because that's the town you have to pay off because you screwed up and you're getting busted. Because more and more is coming out, and people's not letting us go away. We just keep on digging and digging and digging, and we're finding out more and more and more. And all of a sudden, stuff's coming out that I don't think they wanted to get out. And so, show some New Waterford some love. Please share this, get this out. This is how Norfolk Southern treats other fire departments that responded to their problem that they caused with lack of maintenance. This is how they're treated. All right, guys, I'm gonna quit before I start, ranting. And I'm glad I didn't read that part before I started because that really pissed me off. All right, guys. I think that's it for this video because I wanted this video just to be a separate video, just so this is covered by itself. Never mind. I'm gonna quit. I'm done. I'll go on to the next subject I wanted to cover. I'll get this one uploaded first. So, all right, guys.